Hello class, how are you? Let's get started. So on your screen, you can see concept 1-12, 1-13, 1-14, 1-15, 1-16, and 1-17, and I will cover from 1-12 So 1-12, and you can see formative versus summative that we already discussed briefly. And I want you to answer what these are. Formative, and this is ongoing. Summative is final outcomes. Final outcomes. So formative, you have several tests to evaluate. And summative is one last big test at the end. Okay, please try to remember these two methods. Formative is ongoing, summative is the final outcomes at the end, the big last test, one big test. And 113 is norm referenced and criterion referenced standards right there. So norm referenced standard is you will be compared to others in terms of percentile. That is one of the questions that you will see on Friday. So when you think of norm reference, that is all about percentile. So you got 99 out of 100 on your job interview, and you are pretty excited to get the job, but you didn't get it just because you are on 99 percentile and others might be 100 percentile. Then even you got 99, you failed. So that is norm referenced test. What about GRE and SAT scores? Even if you miss one question on math test in SAT, you're now 100 percentile or 99 percentile. If the test is too easy, there might be a lot of people, students, who got 99 percentile. So your score might be a little bit lower, even you missed only one question. So that is norm referenced standards. What about criterion referenced standards, such as driving tests right here? If you miss one, you will get one driver's license. Even if you miss 5 questions, you still get the driver's license, right? So once you pass a certain criteria, then you will pass. That is criterion referenced standards. What about CPR? You don't have to be perfect. If you have a certain the skill, then you still get a CPR certificate. Okay, so that is a concept number 12 and 13. So norm reference and criterion. This is all about percentile and compared to others. Criterion, there is a certain bar right here. Once you pass, if your score is above this bar, criteria, then you pass. Even you got the perfect score, you still pass. That is a criterion. Okay, next. Concept number 14, 1-14, which is a very important. You have a big group, entire group, that is called population. Population. and you have a small sample from that population. So population and sample. If you do any statistics with the entire group population, that is called parameter. If you are doing any statistical analysis with a small sample, small number of people from the population, then that will be statistics. So remember, statistics and parameter. Statistics will do with data from sample, from small sample. Parameter is the statistical way to analyze any data from the entire group, population. The most relevant example for population-based data analysis is census. Right? Census. So now we have two different groups. Population, that is the entire group. What about sample? Sample is from the population that will best represent and describe the population. So if you are interested in the entire CSUSB students on academic achievement, then this is a CSUSB campus that you need to move around to collect data. That might take a lot of time. So it's impossible, maybe possible, it just takes a lot of time. Then you want to have some samples. So you will move around on campus and you will collect data from here, 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 here. And you will create another small group that is also part of CSUSB. This is a sample. So this sample will best represent CSUSB students. Okay, so that is the concept of population and sample. On concept number 1-14, if you are doing any parameter that is the population-based statistics, and you have a mean right here, and each sample has a mean as well. However, you have some symbols to express the mean for population. That is, let me change the color. So that is a mean, you know, the mean, or average for the population is written as mu. Mu, 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 I guess, mu, mu. What about samples mean? Is simply average or X bar. So remember X bar. X bar represents mean for the sample. Mean for the sample is X bar. What about standard deviation? That we will talk about it the next week. Standard deviation for the population is sigma. And variance is sigma squared. At this point, you don't need to worry about too much, and I will talk about it next week. Standard deviation for sample is written as small s, and variance is small s squared. Okay. For your first quiz, please pay attention to the difference between population and sample, and try to understand what is the population and what is the sample. And statistics for this class is dealing with data from small group, sample. Okay. Next, concept number 1-15. 1-15. You have seen several questions on the test review with levels of management. So statistics will analyze data. It could be numbers, or could be descriptions, or interview, right? So now you have a data to analyze, and we have 4 different levels of measurement to collect data. The first is nominal, second is ordinal, the third is interval, the last one is ratio. Samples for each level of measurement you can see LA Dodgers, Chicago Bulls, CSU SB, CSU Fullerton. Anything related to name, that is nominal data. Nominal data. Nami means name or label. Ordinal is order, such as first place, second place, third place. That is ordinal data. The next one is very important, interval and ratio. Interval and ratio. Interval ratio has an arbitrary zero. Arbitrary zero. There is a fake zero value, such as temperature, -30, 0 and +30, +30. So this one stands for hot. Well, this is Celsius, sorry. -30 is just cold. So how do you distinguish between plus and minus sign? Well, because we have an arbitrary zero value. Zero value. So that is the interval data. Remember, there is an arbitrary zero value. What about ratio? That is the most valuable data in statistics. Ratio, there is an absolute zero. There is no negative sign for ratio. What about your time? I will see you at -2:30 on Friday. Well, it doesn't make sense. You ran the 100-meter sprint at 13 seconds. Have you heard? Well, you ran 100-meter sprint at -2 seconds. Well, there is an absolute zero value right there. What about distance? What about your weight, your height? Well, I weigh -120 pounds. Doesn't make any sense, right? So let me summarize. We have 4 different levels of measurement for our data that we can use for any statistics and data analysis. The first one is nominal, anything related to name or label. That is nominal data. Second is ordinal data, that is order, first place, second place, and third place. The next one is interval data, which has an arbitrary zero. The last one is ratio level of measurement for data which has an absolute zero value such as time, distance, weight, and age. I am negative 33 years old. Well, doesn't make any sense. There is an absolute zero value right there. So anything that you cannot put any negative sign, that is not a ratio level. Okay. So on concept number 16, well, the LA Dodgers, which is one of the examples for nominal data, well, that is important. LA Dodgers and Chicago Bulls and Clippers, those are also important to represent their value, right, in terms of nominal, the data. And first place and second place and third place, that is ordinal. If you analyze these two data, then that statistics will be called parametric statistics, non-parametric statistics. Non-parametric statistics will analyze nominal or ordinal data. However, if you use interval or ratio variable, that will be parametric statistics, which is continuous and which is based on scales. But between interval and ratio is the most powerful and meaningful data that you can use. Okay. Next, question number 17. In this class, you will learn descriptive statistics. Simply try to describe the data that you collected. Well, I have 20, I have 29 students in this class. And first, in terms of descriptive statistics, I'll try to describe this number, this data. A total of 29 students, and I have 15 males, and I have 14 females. And I just described the number for 29 in terms of their genders. 15 males, 14 females. That will be one of the examples for descriptive statistics. And I have 29 students, and average age is 21 years old. And I just described their age with the means. So that is the descriptive statistics. And the next statistics that you will learn later in this course is correlational studies. Correlational studies. Correlations. Co-relationships. Any relationship. Any relationships. So now you have X and Y. This is number of hours for your TV watch. And YX is your GPA. 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 4.0. If you watch TV for 1 hour, well, you don't watch TV much, so your GPA might be perfect. What if you watch 2 hours of TV every day? Well, your GPA might be 3. What about 3 hours every day? Your GPA will be 2 points, somewhere in between 2 and 3. What if you watch TV for 4 hours? Your GPA might be 1.0. So now I'm going to connect all of those dots with a hypothetical line right there. So now you can see their relationship. The more you watch TV, the lower GPA you will have. So this is the simple and brief summary of correlation. And I'm sure you will love correlation statistics later. The next is inferential statistics, which is the little bit advanced statistics. Inferential statistics. Inferential statistics. Okay, let's go back to the concept of population. This is a population. And it's impossible to collect data from the population. So we will take a small portion of the population. That will be the sample. And you do a lot of statistics using different types of statistical analysis, descriptive statistics, correlational and regression. There you will find out some outcomes, right? So your results from the sample is the reflection estimate of the population, because you did not collect data from the entire population. Rather, you collected data with a small portion right there, sample. So you will make an inference from the sample to best estimate the population. So this is a concept of inferential statistics. And if you do any of these statistics using samples to make an inference, that is inferential statistics. As of now, please don't try to memorize what they are, but I just want to list. There are different types of statistical method and analysis that you will do first with descriptive statistics next week. Later in this class, inferential. In few weeks, we will do correlational statistics. Okay. So next is a concept number 18. I'm sure you have tried to install SPSS. SPSS stands for Statistical Package for Social Sciences. Statistical Package for Social Sciences. So if you do any research, you need to collect data. Once you collect data, you need to analyze that data to find out any results based on your research interest. So SPSS has been used among many researchers. They have been changing their names from SPSS to PAWS, PAWS, but a lot of people are accustomed with the name of SPSS. So I will just use the term SPSS for this class. Statistical Package for the Social Sciences, right? You can see right here. And also those who will go to medical school or graduate school, you will see SAS as well, Statistical Analysis System, which is based on the command that you need to program your statistical analysis using command, your programming. For that reason, SPSS is a user-friendly software which has been used for so many years. Our university has a license with SPSS and SAS, and the last one is R, that is programming for statistical analysis. But in this class, we are not going to use SAS and R program. But definitely for those who will go to graduate school, you will see SAS. The downside of SPSS and SAS is these are very, very expensive software. And R is a free software that you can download, but you need to spend a lot of time to program your statistical analysis. So for those reasons, I'm not going to use SAS and R software for this class. So we will use, excuse me, SPSS. For the first statistical analysis, which is descriptive statistics in this class, you can still use Excel program to find some answers. However, SPSS is a very, very easy to use if you understand the concept of statistical analysis. So by next week, I hope you will be able to download the SPSS as soon as possible, and then you can play with the SPSS. Before I wrap up with this lecture, I just want to show you how it looks like. Once you go to your computer, just click the start button, then you will see IBM. That is the company that created SPSS software. Once you click IBM, you will see IBM SPSS Statistics version number 26. Some of you might see version 25 on campus. This is the newest the version of SPSS. So once you click it, you will see the main page of SPSS right here. Takes time. So this is a main page of SPSS, IBM SPSS statistics. Please click X or X, you don't need it. So this is the main page of SPSS that we will use from next week. So if you can install this software on your computer, that will be great. If you cannot install it on your computer, again, you do have an option to visit CSSB virtual computer lab using your Coyote ID, so you can still access to SPSS software. Okay, so I will talk about it later next week. And next week we will start kinesiology concept 2-1. We will start with central tendency and variability, population. Now you have some headache right here, so you need to work with some equation and formula. But since we have SPSS, I'm not going to ask you to calculate some questions using hands, and calculator. Okay. Again, this Friday, you will have the first online quiz that I sent you the test review already. And those who are motivated to find out the answers, please go to course Blackboard and you can see the answers from today. And your test will start on Friday around class time, and you have 4 hours to complete. But I think I got some emails from some of you, those who have classes right after this class. So I will try to extend your online quiz from 12 to 6 o'clock. Okay. Good luck on your first quiz, and I will see you next Monday. Thank you so much, and stay safe and healthy. And I hope you will do well on your first quiz. This class will have 4 quizzes, I think 4 quizzes, and each quiz will be used for each individual quiz, and those questions might be used for your exams 1, 2, and 3. So please keep all the copies for your big exams. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you next week. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me with your questions. Again, I know you are pretty busy with a lot of online classes and a lot of assignments and readings. Again, please stay focused for this quarter, and let's get through this pandemic. And again, for me, it's better to teach in classroom. Then I can explain better. But even I'm sure this is only 15 minutes video clip that I need to spend about 2 to 3 hours to upload to YouTube for you to watch anytime with any device. So again, I cannot make 100 minutes or 60 minutes of video clip for you to upload. But please stay with course note right here, and some video clips that will be useful for your study. Okay, and I hope to see you next week, and good luck. Bye bye.